Hello all gorgeous peeps, hope you're keeping well. I'm Chris from TechSped and I'm here today with the TCL 10 Pro, a mid-range smartphone coming to the UK for under £400, so less than the price of the new iPhone SE 2020. But despite that, you still get a 6.47-inch AMOLED display with full HDR10 support. You get a quad lens rear camera with 64 megapixel primary shooter, all kinds of great specs. I'm going to get it unboxed now, get it all set up and do. If you want a full-on tour of the hardware and the software, so you know exactly what to expect if you decide to grab yourself the TCL 10 Pro. And for more of the latest greatest tech, please do subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers. Yoink. Alright, okay, there's the TCL 10 Pro, so let's just pop that aside for a second. Just have a quick scout in the rest of the box, see what else you get. So, porky pin device to actually get your SIM in the wee lighter, and I'm hoping you get a nice bit of condom case action in here. You do indeed, lovely stuff. So you can just wrap that around your fresh new TCL, and as you can see there, quite a funky bit of design on it as well. We'll slap that on in a bit. Then the rest of it looks pretty straightforward as well. You've of course got a USB cable Type C in order to charge up your smartphone, and here is the plug adapter as well. Nice bit of 3-pin effort for here in Global IT. Hooray! So let's get the TCL unsheathed and see it in all of its raw, naked glory. First impressions of the TCL 10 Pro, definitely very positive indeed. It's got a very premium look and feel to it. As you can see there, the screen sort of tapers around the edges, and then the back end tapers as well, so it meets in quite a nice sort of almost sharp point along the edge, although it doesn't feel sharp when you're clutching it. It's a nice comfortable grip. I'm definitely getting serious OnePlus 8 vibes off this thing, which is great because obviously the OnePlus 8 is considerably more expensive. So if you want that sort of premium look and feel, but on a tighter budget, then this could be the way to go. And it's also on the 177 grams as well, which is quite impressive. Definitely one of the lighter smartphones that I've wielded lately. My heart did sink a little bit when I read the colour was Ember Grey. That's the only colour option available, but to be honest, it looks quite sort of sleek and stylish. It's not too business-like, and I like the fact that it's a matte finish on the back end, despite the fact that it's constructed from glass as well. It almost looks metallic. It's got that lovely sheen to it, and it seems to be quite resistant to fingerprints and scuffs as well, which is good. And touch wood, the TCL 10 Pro should prove nice and hardy, but just in case, you do of course have that slipped in cover as well, which you can just slap on there nice and easy. As you can see, it's quite funky. The slogan actually has a little space. I would say is that cover does not seem very firmly attached at all. It feels quite flimsy, like it would just fly off as soon as this thing basically hit the floor. But you know, at least it's a bundled extra. All good. Right, let's see if there is any juice in the tank. Yes, there is. Brilliant. So I'll get the TCL 10 Pro all set up now, and then we'll take a full-on tour of the rest of the hardware and the software. Yay! And before I forget as well, the TCL 10 Pro is a dual SIM device. As you can see there, it's a double-sided SIM tray. The second SIM slot can also be used for micro SD memory card instead. So it can either be dual SIM or single SIM with micro SD. TCL 10 Pro is all powered up. I've logged into my Google account. I've got all my apps downloading in the background. So now let's have a bit of an explore. So there's a bit of Android 10 action here on the TCL 10 Pro, but it does have the TCL UI, very imaginative.
It's raining on me. Go and follow your heart. Doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time, baby, now.
On the go as well, because as well as Google Chrome, you've also got TCL's own browser, which unfortunately you can't uninstall, so that's stuck on there. I've already got so many freaking file management programs that, yeah, I think I'm basically going to be about as organized as it's humanly possible to be. You've also got lots of support tools as well. So for instance, you've got a direct access to TCL's support online management, and that app can also diagnose any issues with your phone and just gives you contact details and manuals, all the good stuff. You've got Optimize. Won't take a genius to figure out what that does, but it just frees up the memory, makes everything run nice and smoothly. And the Smart Manager tool as well, which as you can see there, nice and reassuring. Excellent. Everything is good. Yes, indeed. Actually getting into your TCL 10 Pro, well, there's an in-display fingerprint sensor down here near the bottom. Just tap your finger there. Not the quickest of scanners in my testing so far, but certainly seems responsive enough. Just stick your finger on there, and after a second or so, boom, you're in. And it also supports a bit of face unlock action as well, so you can just tap that power button, it'll scan your mug, and that actually seems quicker than the fingerprint sensor. Haven't seen the raise to wake on there, but as you can see there, you do get a bit of always on display action, which is nice. And around here on the left edge of the TCL Tempo, you've also got what they've termed a smart key. Give that a quick push. As you can see, it loads up the Google Assistant by default. I'm not sure if you can actually change that. Confusingly, it says that you activate the one-handed mode by hitting the icon in the notifications bar. But if you actually go in the notifications bar, there is no icon for one-handed mode, and I can't see any way of actually editing the icon layout either. I've tried long pressing, doing all kinds of stuff. That's just actually for managing the notifications themselves. So if anyone knows how to do that, definitely let me know below. I'll have to do a bit of Google searching, I think. HDR10 support on there, and certainly just from a quick glance at some Netflix content and the rest, it seems absolutely stunning stuff indeed. Nice deep blacks, realistic looking colours, great stuff. And it's full HD plus resolution as well, so as you can see there, visuals coming through nice and crisp. That's from HDR gaming settings, while the 240Hz touch response means that your every swipe and poke is instantly registered. So yeah, it seems a little bit tinny on that top volume, certainly reasonable clarity, so you should be absolutely fine watching a bit of Netflix while you're doing the cooking, something like that. Certainly wouldn't want to listen to music or anything like that though, that's for damn sure. But as I mentioned before, you've got full Bluetooth 5 support, and there's even a headphone jack up top as well, which is great, something still missing for most premium devices, so that's a serious bonus. As for the performance, well, it's not one of the top-end chipsets as you would expect for a sub £400 price point. What you get is a Snapdragon 675, which is a platform that I haven't seen in many smartphones at all, certainly here in the UK. It was in the Moto Z4, I believe. I think a couple of mid-range Samsungs and Vivos, maybe potentially a couple of Xiaomi's, but it's backed by 6 gigs RAM, and so far TouchWiz seems absolutely fine. It's still busy setting itself up in the background, but certainly no pauses when I'm swiping about the place. It'll be interesting to see how it copes with the likes of good old PUBG, so I'll be giving that a full testing out. 1500 milliamp cells stuffed inside, so hopefully TouchWiz can keep you powered up all day, no problem, even despite the spacious AMOLED display. Oh dear, it's optimizable now. Not everything is hunky-dory as it was before. Need to clear up a bit of memory and stuff, but it looks a bit few. There we go, back to 100. But it's a tour of the TCL Tempo with a look at that quad lens array camera tech, and in no particular order, because I'm not sure in which order they're actually distributed. You get a 64 megapixel primary lens, you get a 16 megapixel ultra wide angle lens, you get a 5 megapixel macro lens blur, and a 2 megapixel low light lens as well, which I think is just used for video, but I need to double check that. So as you can see, quite a complex setup. As soon as you dive into that camera app, you're immediately inundated with all kinds of virtual buttons and sliders and different modes and everything. So yeah, quite a lot to get your head around, but hopefully with a bit of playing around should become quite intuitive. As you can see there, you can tap there to flick to a triple lens mode. I remember having to play around with this at IFA last year. So as you can see there, you can take a picture with the lens that you decide works the best for that given situation. Quite a handy way of skipping through them. Otherwise, you've got fast access to the ultra wide angle lens right there, and you can also dip into a bit of zoom action like so. You've got lots of different modes to have a play with. So for instance, good old portrait mode, to get a nice bit of bokeh action behind your subjects to really help them stand out. You've got the super night mode as well, which doesn't actually use the low light lens, it uses the primary lens, which I've figured out is this one here right on the right hand side. If we go all the way back into more, as you can see, there's just a bunch of other stuff, including of course good old macro mode if you want to take lots of up close pictures of ladybirds or whatever. And if you dive into the video mode, as you can see, just as many confusing options. You've got some sort of running mode, which I'm assuming is like a super stabilization mode. You've got a microphone speaker up here to just mute stuff by the looks of it. You can shoot video with that ultra wide angle lens if you so desire, and as you can see there, you can shoot up to 4K resolution footage at 30 frames per second. And if we flip over the TCL Tempo, full tour there, so hope that was helpful if you were thinking of giving it a purchase. Definitely one of the most premium looking smartphones around that sort of price band. I really do like the look of it. Could be tempted to think it was a OnePlus 8 if it wasn't of course for the little nipple notch up top instead of the pinhole camera. But yeah, great stuff. So hopefully the performance, the battery and everything will hold up well. See how that camera tech holds up as well. Stay tuned for my in-depth review for all you need to know on that. Please do box subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech. Cheers everyone. Love you.